Welcome to the Jerry's Movie Review channel. I am Jerry. Today I am giving a review of the movie Everybody. As always, remember there will be spoilers. Everybody is a powerful, engrossing examination of a segment of the world's population that is all too frequently disregarded. It is laced with compassion and understanding as well as a calm, analytical rage for the injustices that history has subjected them to. The topic is intersex people, who make up little more than 1% of the population and have a condition that makes it difficult for the state to categorize them as either female or male, the only possibilities mentioned on hospital documentation. There are many different types of intersex people, born with abnormal chromosomes or sex traits and not unmistakably male or female, as the film demonstrates. Some people may have ambiguous genitalia or undescended testicles that are initially misdiagnosed as ovaries, while others may appear male on the outside but have female reproductive parts, or the other way around. These people may have genital defects caused by genetics, environmental factors, or other outside influences, including medical errors, a situation touched on in Everybody. These people frequently receive a gender assignment at birth that doesn't accurately reflect their physical characteristics and forces them to live out the prescribed role regardless of their own preferences. However the individual finally decides to identify, the state and society as a whole have the power to override that decision, a situation that trans individuals experience daily. Typically, medical practitioners would encourage parents of intersex children to raise their kid as either a boy or girl to make things easier on the child and their family. But whose comfort was truly being prioritized? Not the children's, who would therefore be forced to spend the majority of their youth, if not their whole lives, playing a part they didn't want to play out of fear of rejection or persecution. Not the parents, who were required to consistently support a cover story that had been given to them by others and might opt to stop talking about it altogether, save in doctors' offices, leaving the children to deal with the psychological effects alone. The doctor's recommendations for gender assignment were sometimes accompanied by a suggestion for corrective surgery to remove any body parts that didn't fit the binary, often imposed onto the parents during their recuperation from childbirth. 3 intersex activists serve as the film's main characters, commentators, guides, and, in a few sequences, a sort of focus group, analyzing old footage and news articles and responding. Alicia Roth Weigel is a lobbyist who frequently takes part in high-profile demonstrations and hearings about intersex issues and other problems affecting the larger LGBTQIA community. She has wrote an essay collection on the subject called Inverse Cowgirl. The first publicly intersex actor to portray an intersex character, in the 2019 short film Ponyboy, is River Gallo, a non-binary and queer actor. According to his description, Sean Saifa is an intersex man of color. He gained notoriety after appearing on the ABC News program Nightline and challenging the doctor who operated on him when he was 13 and had an unneeded gonadectomy. Unfortunately, the latter tale is typical. In the past, unnecessary surgery on infants with intersex was prevalent. For years prior to the airing of this movie, the first hospital to publicly apologize for it did so in 2019. Gallo was advised to have synthetic testicles inserted and undergo hormone therapy because he was born without them and wanted to seem more stereotypically masculine. With the exception of his closest friends, Gallo practically passed as a cisgender straight man at his suburban New Jersey high school. He didn't start thriving until he adopted a more feminine appearance, admitted to being intersex, and vowed to try to play roles that reflected that identification. Weigel, a slender, blonde, white woman, claims that while working as an activist in her native Texas, straight male lobbyists and politicians hit on her without realizing she also possessed an internalized set of inoperable testicles. After using dating websites for a while, Weigel grew weary of worrying about how a partner may respond when she ultimately revealed her physical truth and began adding the word intersex to the top of her page. This reduced the number of applicants and made the process less challenging. With commendable economy and creativity, director Julie Cohen, RBG, and her editor Kelly Kendrick weave together the three major stories and reams of supporting historical and medical information. One of the year's cleanest American documentaries in terms of style is this one. The movie Everybody contains a lot of information in a short amount of time, but it never feels crowded. The variety of visual and graphic techniques used by the filmmakers also don't have the impression of being included to add fake excitement or trick viewers into thinking this is entertainment that can be enjoyed passively rather than actively. The choice to base everything on Gallo, Seidel, and Weigel's experiences gives the movie a foundation in straightforward, all-encompassing emotions, but the subject's prowess in verbal exchange and command of the facts dispels any notion that the movie bases its arguments solely on feelings. These traumatized individuals have used their suffering as motivation to ensure that no one else goes through what they suffered. The movie, which centers on how intersex persons were viewed and treated by the medical establishment until recently, takes a very dark and distressing turn towards the middle. By alternating between archival footage of medical professionals stating false and psychologically harmful facts about intersex people and their bodies, the main subjects reacting to the footage, and childhood videos and still photos of the subjects, which serve as a reminder that they were burdened with certain instructions and expectations many years before puberty or sexual relations, Everybody becomes a lesson in how editing can be a critical and analytical tool. Weigel describes how, when she was merely adolescent, a doctor gave her a dildo to and told her to use it to enlarge her vagina in preparation for the day she would have sex with a man. Many intersex childhood experiences go something like this: you have to be something else because you're not what society wants you to be, and your wishes aren't even acknowledged, much less given priority. The movie is also an excellent illustration of how societal criticism and sarcasm may be expressed simply by combining different pieces of video or by choosing music that complicates or makes a comment on what the movie is showing you without being literal or repetitious. Too many documentaries are satisfied with using needle drop songs and the low-hanging fruit method of editing. For instance, a subject can mention a significant event that took place on a rainy day, and the director might cut to stock video of rain scenes and play "Have you ever seen the rain?" Everybody is more intelligent. It gains a lot of conceptual traction, for instance, by discreetly highlighting the universality of fundamental human experiences by gender-swapping songs that are traditionally associated with a male or female narrator, such as Born to Run. This makes the Everybody opening credits sequence feel like its own movie because it is so flawlessly executed. Over bits of videos of gender reveal parties where clouds of blue or pink smoke are discharged in dramatic and occasionally violent ways, one father releases the smoke by firing a compound bow at a target, another discharges a tripod-mounted sniper rifle, a joyful, jangly cover of Be My Baby is playing. This passage is not intended to be humorous about the parents. Which of those boxes a doctor checks on a birth form is intended to determine how much of a typical parent's identity is invested in it. Additionally, it prepares viewers for the rest of the film, which demonstrates how the children spend their time either fighting to escape or writhing to fit inside that box. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.